Kenya is looking east. Well, the president on Tuesday, while he was in the FOCAC summit, announced that Kenya has formally joined the AIIB, that is the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank. And that meant that Kenya will be getting loans from China, as well as balancing with other loans from elsewhere. Now, the AIIB is akin to the IMF or World Bank, but of China. This came about when China was denied influence or policy changes in the IMF or World Bank. Now, in their website, the AIIB has pointed out that it does not give concessional loans. And that simply means that that bank will not give loans below the market rate. The IMF has been giving loans below the market rate, mostly for low-income countries. So the AIIB has said that it will not give concessional loans. Further, it has stipulated that it gives grants to prepare for projects that it will finance. So that is the difference between the IMF and the AIIB that Kenya has now been a party to. It is also important to note that the AIIB has a few countries that have registered on it, like South Africa. But why are we here? The reason as to why we are here, or partly the reason as to why we are here, is because of the Finance Bill 2024. Now, the Gen Zs went out to protest against the Finance Bill 2024, and the president sought to withdraw the Finance Bill 2024 after the protests about bad governance, about leadership, about the bill itself and additional taxes. And one among the key things that also people protested about was the policies that were being implemented by the IMF. Now, Kenya has sought to go to East to look for more loans because as a result of dropping the IMF, there was a gap left totaling to 344.3 billion Kenya shillings that had to be filled. Additionally, Kenya raised its borrowing target by 172 billion to 1 trillion. That meant that Kenya had to borrow more, had to get more money. But the problem was that different investors across the world saw Kenya as a risk after the dropping of the Finance Bill 2024. In fact, three major global credit firms, that is Moody's, Fitch, and S&P, downgraded Kenya's credit ratings. That made it very expensive for Kenya to get loans from Western organizations. And that is partly the reason as to why the president started to look east, started to look at options that are available in the east. And by the way, the AIIB offers 50% of loans to climate mitigating initiatives or climate initiatives by 2025. And that is in line with what the Kenya Kwanza government has been doing, because the Kenya Kwanza government has been very vocal in matters to do with climate change and matters to do with climate resilience. They are the ones who are fiercely advocating for carbon credits and etc. So you'll find that there are areas where the AIIB and Kenya align, and that is why you find that President Ruto has sought to go east and look at opportunities that Kenya can get from such banks as the AIIB. One last thing as we finish is a question that I will pose to you. Between Western loans and Eastern loans, which one do you think is better? Maybe you can write in the comments below.